If you flew the Flaming Cliffs MiG-29, you already know how this jet handles, but this time, the Fulcrum comes alive. The MiG-29A Fulcrum released today in DCS World. Before this, the Fulcrum was only available as part of Flaming Cliffs 3. It had the professional flight model, but no clickable cockpit. This new MiG-29A is a full-fidelity module built from the ground up. It takes the same flight model you're used to and puts it into a brand new interactive cockpit with deeper systems and visuals. It feels familiar if you've flown the Flaming Cliff 3 version. You've got the fidelity and interaction that make it come alive. And maybe the biggest win, we finally have a true full-fidelity Red fighter in DCS. NATO jets like the Hornet, Viper, and Eagle are awesome, but multiplayer has felt pretty one-sided lately. The Fulcrum brings some balance back, and that's a welcome change if you spend time online. This is old-school Soviet design, analog gauges everywhere, with your main flight instruments grouped front and center. Attitude, airspeed, and altitude, stacked together in that classic Soviet layout so they're easy to scan in flight. You've got the SPO-15 RWR with the Akron warning system, the IRST controls, oxygen, and lighting panels, all clickable now. And the cockpit lighting is gorgeous, floodlights, map lights, and that signature green HUD glow. The flight model is the same professional flight model from Flaming Cliffs, so if you flew that, this feels identical on paper, but it still feels really good to hand fly. The MiG-29 actually flies in metric, so I switched the units over in the settings to keep it as close to the real thing as possible. I'm flying in the English cockpit right now, which you can select in the special tab on the options menu. If you want the authentic Russian cockpit, just leave it on default. Once airborne, the Fulcrum leaps into the sky with those RD-33 engines. In the air, she's nimble, responsive, and climbs hard. What stood out to me is how comfortable she feels at slower speeds and high angles of attack. The Fulcrum has a reputation for being stable in that regime. You can pull her around, point the nose aggressively, and still feel in control. It's exactly what makes her so dangerous in a close fight, especially paired with the HMD and R-73 missile. Something I didn't know until today, there are stipulations with the speed brakes. If you got the centerline tank installed or the gear down, the speed brakes won't extend. Above 540 knots, the system forces them closed, and if you lose electrical power, they'll retract automatically. It caught me off guard at first, but it's those kind of details that really make this jet feel alive. One of the standout features is the helmet-mounted sight. You can slave an R-73 just by looking at the Bandit. On top of that, you can lock with the radar, use the IRST for passive infrared locks, or the air combat modes Russian jets are known for: foresight, vertical scan, and helmet cueing. It makes close-in dogfights a lot of fun.
Puck's too close. Oh, splash! Holy crap! Woo! That was a little too close for comfort.
Where it really shines is sound and visuals. Exterior audio is girthy and rumbly. Even the little details stand out. The pilot model that moves with you back and forth, and the nav lights that actually reflect off the surface. It's a subtle touch, and hopefully one of those carries forward into future modules. On the contention server, the Fulcrum held her own. Quick, fun, and I grabbed a few kills. One thing I didn't get to do as much as I wanted to use the radar. With the IFF not working properly on dedicated servers, I was honestly worried about team killing. So instead, I relied on visually merging with bogies first, confirming that they were hostile, and then continuing the fight once I knew they were bandits. It's not ideal, but it kept things clean. And as of now, instant action missions are only included for the Caucasus map. Eagle Dynamics already has a first week patch lined up. It includes things like trigger animations, flare sequences, a lower cockpit resolution option, and the multiplayer IFF issue that I was discussing before. Beyond that, 3D and model work is still evolving. Better damage modeling, gear bay detail, canopy reflections, new liveries, and improved pilot and ejection animations. It's early access, but it seems that they're trying to move quickly. And in Glowing AMRAAM's launch video, they teased an experimental cockpit entry from the outside. If that evolves into full walkarounds in DCS, that's going to be a game changer for Immersion. My only real letdowns are the limited instant action coverage. It seems that any new module that comes out only comes with the Caucasus map. There's a ton of maps, and it would be nice to have more coverage. So would I recommend the MiG-29? Absolutely. If you enjoy red aircraft and the MiG-29, this is a no-brainer. You are getting the proven flight model from the Flaming Cliffs version, wrapped in a full-fidelity cockpit with fantastic sounds, great visuals, and a dogfighter's soul. I know early access can scare some people, but that's exactly why I wanted to jump in. I've been waiting for a full-fidelity MiG-29 for years. And with so many NATO jets in DCS, having a red fighter like this to take into multiplayer was something I couldn't pass up. What stood out to me most, though, is just how immersive the MiG-29 feels. Sitting in the Fulcrum, with the sounds, the lighting, the little touches, you really feel like you're inside the jet. It's currently priced at $63.99. Whether you want to shed out that kind of dough is up to you, but for me, the Fulcrum feels worth adding to my hangar. And if you want to check it out for yourself, I'll leave a link to the MiG-29 FAQ, the store page, and the official launch trailer in the description and the pinned comment. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you on the next video.